Hello, my name is Miguel Latronica, and I am the inventor of the internationally patented Mighty Body Band Lite. The intention of our short video today is to show you the 5 different functions of the Mighty Body Band Lite. When you order our product, the Mighty Body Band Lite, it'll come in this box, and everything that's in this box is exactly what you see in front of you on what we have hooked up to a door. So when you get your product and you take it out of the box, everything is hooked up just the way it is in the box. So I'm going to set this to the side for now, and then I'm going to actually just take a minute to talk about the Mighty Body Band Lite user manual. It's about a 40-page manual. It's in color, and it takes you through the setup from the minute you take the Mighty Body Band out of a box, how to set it up, how to adjust it for the particular work that you're doing, whether it's for therapeutic purposes, whether it's for yoga, Pilates, cross-training, it doesn't matter. And plus we have a lot of blog and video support as well. So in this manual, you'll read through all the precautions and everything that you need to know. There's even a page that says what is included in your purchase. And then you'll notice on one of the pages it talks about the 5 different functions of the Mighty Body Band Lite, which is what we want to address. And there's one other thing that I'd like to talk about, and it's what we call the optional accessory. It's a PNF loop. So it's an optional accessory for the Mighty Body Band Lite. Now, this PNF loop, I want to talk about it for a minute because I'm really big on keeping the end in mind. And this PNF loop is really a bungee cord that allows you to do a lot of the work with the Mighty Body Band so that you can focus more intensely on what we call PNF stretches and active isolated stretching. We'll get into that a little later, but just keep in mind that many of the things that you can see that I'm going to be showing you can be done with and without this here. So I'm going to set this to the side, and now we're going to start going over to the 5 functions. So I'm going to put that over there for now. Then what I want to do is, as I said, everything that you see right here is what comes in the box. So the first thing that I'd like to point out is this black strap that runs across the door, and you'll notice there's also this little piece that hangs, and it slides back and forth. This is what we call, in this case, a lateral door strap. It wraps around the door, it hooks up on the other side and tightens up, and that way you would take your Mighty Body Band unit, comes out of the box just like this, and if you chose to use the lateral door strap, because it is optional, you would hook it up like that, okay? But you'll notice there's this other piece here that it was connected to. And I just want you to know it comes with this lateral door strap, but you can use it on a pillar. When I travel in an airport, I take my lateral strap with me, and then it becomes a lateral pillar strap. Or I can hook it around a tree. So it'll go around any round, it'll go around beams, anything that isn't sharp and would cut the webbing. So as long as it's nice, smooth surface, you're good to go, okay? I'm going to remove it, and I'm going to just set this sliding tab to the side because we're no longer going to use this for this video, but you know what it is. You'll see in the manual how you'll hook it up. I'm going to, again, reposition the Mighty Body Band Lite unit on what we call the portable door anchor. I'm going to open up the door, and I'm going to show you. So the same thing, when you take the Mighty Body Band Lite out of the box, this is exactly how it's hooked up. The only difference is this lateral door strap is also hooked up to this, and it hangs. And so now you know what to do with it. So this here is put behind a door, like I just showed you, behind the top of the door. It can actually be used on the side of a door, and it can also be used and positioned right on the back and the bottom of a door, just like that. And we're going to go over some of those things. But now you know I'm using the portable door anchor. I'm going to close it, and then if I pull on it, you'll see. Because the door closes into a door jamb. So as long as it closes into it, there's no way the door could fly open. So it's nice and stable. So I took it out of the box. I decided to use the portable door anchor. I put it up over the top of the door, and now we can get down to the nuts and bolts, if you will, of the Mighty Body Band light. So this, what I'm holding here, is the slack of the toe band. And this little white buckle, it's actually called a ladder lock buckle. And if I lift it up, look at how the band lowers. I can lengthen it all the way. Or I can pull it up. Same thing. So the idea is that you can lengthen the Mighty Body Band at variable lengths from the door, so that the purpose is to work on angles that you normally wouldn't work on, and that's where all the anti-gravitational components come into play as well. So having said that, I'm going to retract it up, and I'm going to set the tail to the side just for a minute, just to show you how this works. So we know that we have the toe band, which is adjustable. We just talked about it. And I'm going to hold up what we call the lucky 8. And this is the fixed point right here. This metal piece, it's a fixed point. And then why do we call it the lucky 8? Well, I'll show you. Here, it's as if this were like a number 8. So just the purple webbing looks like an 8, okay? And we have this fixed part of it on the top. Now you'll notice this adjusts different ways. I'm going to put the fixed portion of the lucky 8 back on the toe band, and then you'll notice again I've got this lucky 8 double loop. So because we're talking about the 5 functions, the first function is right here. It is a double loop with handle, right? 1 loop, 2 loop, with 2 handles. It's pretty simple, really. And we know that we can lengthen this double loop with handles from the door by adjusting the toe band. I'm going to keep it short and just really show you some really basic things. This is not an instructional video of how to use it with different poses, but rather the functions, the 5 different functions. And this is one of them, okay? Double band. You can come in, do some really nice shoulder work, all kinds of different things. There are hundreds and hundreds of poses that you can do with these 5 different functions. All right? And I'm going to set it down. Now, we know there's a double loop, and we know, or I'm going to tell you about these 2, these are called dual release buckles. All right? And they're dual release because they disconnect. So I connect and I disconnect, each one. So if you think about it, I have 2 loops right now. As soon as I disconnect each buckle from each loop, look what happens. I let go, and we just went from a double loop, and now we have, it's sort of like a long belt, if you will, and it begins to slide side to side, right? Just like that. And it slides across this very special piece of material. It's like a parachute type of material that allows for an easy glide. And so this is the second function. Second function is what we call the extended handle mode. Now, you'll see in your manual, it talks about all of them, and it'll be more clear. But that's how we go from double loop to a second function called extended handle mode. Here, we do all kinds of things as well. And again, not an instructional video, but there's a lot of different things that we could do. That's one. Maybe I'll show you 1 or 2 other things you can do with the extended handle mode, okay? One of them is, well, we know these adjust up and down the opposite way. I'm going to set them in place, and that's just about the height that I want. I stick my foot through the webbing part of the handle mode. And we'll get into that a little later. And then I come forward, and you'll see right off the bat, I'm floating in space, all right? Now, one of my favorite poses is a floating crane. So I'll take the soft portion of the nylon webbing of the handle and set it just up to the joint of my feet, and then watch this. I actually take my knees up above the elbows, and I'm floating. And I'm really working with the core here. And I can come back, I can come out to the side. There's all kinds of different names of these poses, right? I can actually come down like this, and I can, and it holds me up into a really nice handstand, right? Or headstand, I mean. And then I'll come down again, take it, right? So really nice for the core and working with pikes and things like that. I'm going to come out of it. I'm going to turn around. So, second function, extended handle mode. Now, this is where the fun begins, all right? So, we're going to talk a little bit about these handles, and maybe what I'll do is I'll go back to the double loop mode, okay? I want to show you a little bit about the handles. So I reconnect the two dual release buckles, okay? Then, what I'm going to do is move some of the padding out of the way and talk about these handles. The handles disconnect very easily. There's one, and there's the other. And I'm going to set these handles on this little hook that I put on the door just for purposes of demonstration. And so now we have a double loop without the handles. So we know that when we get the band, the handles are already connected. But we can take the handles off, and we've got two loops here. And what's really nice, again, just to give you an idea, I can lengthen this away, and I can take these two double loops, I can stick my arms into them like this, and then let's say I've got some nice stuff that I want to work with the shoulders, make sure there are no twists in it. I come forward, and it's just really nice. It releases the neck, it works the shoulder blades back, it promotes extensioning through the spinal column. I can do all kinds of nice things like that, okay? But the thing that I really want to show you that's really important about this particular function, I'm going to lengthen it all the way, and I just want to show you that if you take the Mighty Body Band, and this is a really important part to get, so you can see with a label, Mighty Body Band, if I disconnect one of the loops, and I take it and I wrap it around one thigh like that. And then I can take some of the slack out, just like this. Some of the slack will come out. And then I take the other loop and I wrap it around the other leg, like that. Now, when I take all the slack out of each of these loops, this is what you'll see. You'll see I'm starting to tighten up, like this. And I'm going to tuck my shirt in just to show you because this function's really important to get. So just tightened up like that. Move all the hardware out of the way. All right. And then you would walk forward. Now as I walk forward, you'll see this spins the thighs internally. So the fixed point from behind, what happens when you come forward, it spirals in. So as I lean forward like this, my thighs and everything are being internally rotated, so I'm able to release the hip rotators from behind. It's a very beautiful therapeutic component of the Mighty Body Band. This is third function. Right? I'm going to disconnect one, and then, so now I'm going to take it into the fourth mode. Now, the fourth mode is a lot of fun. And you know that I just had this around my two thighs into that third mode. Now, these buckles, these aluminum dual release buckles, watch this. They adjust, they move back and forth, and I can feed it through like this, pull it out, and it adjusts any way I want. So if you get it just right, it's very easy. When it's new, it's a little bit more static, but you lengthen it. And same thing on the other side. You can see there's about this much slack, and I'm just going to feed it through, pull the slack out, tighten the buckle up, and that's it. And then you'll notice, of course, we have our tri-rings that move up and down as well, which the handles connect to. Now, the fourth mode, getting back to that, we know that if there was a double loop, right, that implies there's two buckles, a female and a male end to each one. So that makes 4 buckles. Well, what's really nice about the Mighty Body Band Lite is that we've added a 5th buckle, and that 5th buckle is another female piece. So that female piece fits into the male, and that's why we're able to go through all these different functions. Now we have a single loop. And I will tell you, most of your work will probably be done with a single loop. Some people that do a lot of cross-training, they use all the different functions, all right? And you'll switch them out too. But we know that this whole band, if you'll notice the hardware here, it moves around. The whole thing spins around into that fixed point, you see? Because when I'm doing forward bends and things like that, I may not want the hardware and stuff to get into my way. It gives me a nice, clear space to work, or place to work. Now, I put it around my head, you'll notice, and then it's at my hips. So now the buckles are swiveled back beside me. I'm going to pull my shirt back out now, place this here, and maybe just show you an example. Single loop, very basic floating down dog pose, right? Very nice. We do all kinds of different things, right, working into it, okay? All right, we do all kinds of things like triangle poses. So the point of the Mighty Body Band is it stabilizes the body, it works it to work, it allows it to work on different angles to begin to target different parts of the musculature. So here, back bends. People say, oh, I love this just for the back bends alone. I put my feet up against the door like this. And then you see this, I come back and I come up. And it's just really nice. And as I become more and more adept, I work my feet back and then work into the poses like that. Now, what's nice even for this single loop, so we know we're in the fourth mode, there are variations too. I can take my handles and I can actually hook my handles up right here into this single loop mode. Now we have single loop mode with handles, and then, if I have all the twists up out of it, I put my feet to the door like this. This band, we know, holds up to 225 pounds. Look at this. I hold the handles, and I come back. Easy. Working, tracking into the pose, lowering myself. This allows you to do a lot of your work without it being so invasive to the joints of the body. Single loop. I take the handles back off if I want them off. So it's just single loop alone. Right? And then let's say that I want to do a little bit of work from the floor. I'll lengthen this out all the way, and we can come into a simple pose like Varasana. You'll notice my hips move around. This single loop allows me to actually work deep into a lot of these poses without compressing into the low back. So that's it as far as the fourth function. I'm going to retract the band up all the way. And then I think I'm going to take it back out from single loop, and I'm going to reconnect it so that is back into the double loop mode. Right? 1 and 2. 4 different, you'll take the twists out, 4 different modes. Now, what I want to do is totally remove, right, the lucky 8, because it looks like the number 8, and I'm going to just set it down on the side for a minute. Okay. Then, I'm also going to take the toe band, and I'm going to remove it. I'm going to fold it up, set it to the side. 2 main components. What do we have left? We have the handles, we have the lateral door strap, which we're not using, but we know what it's for. I'm going to open up the door and go ahead and take my portable anchor, and I'm going to take my 2 handles, and I'm going to put the handles and attach them, right, to the portable anchor. Now, let's just say that I want to reconnect it to the top of the door, because we know the portable door anchor works on the top of the door, it works anywhere on the side, and it works on the bottom of the door. So just something even like this is really so nice. It allows you to track in, work with the core, right? You can turn around, do different poses, all kinds of really nice things for side body bends. I'm going to now place it, and I'm going to move on the other side of the door. I'm going to place it now above the door handle, like that. And then I'm going to close the door, and now it's on the side of the door. Now, why am I showing it to you this way? Well, we know it works from the top, we know it works from the side. I may not want to use the handles right now on the side of the door. I may take the handles off, and then I can reconnect any part of the Mighty Body Band light to this part here. But because I'm showing you the 5th function, I'm going to reconnect the handles. And I'm going to show you how we can now take the portable door anchor, set it on the floor, slide it in back of the door, close the door, and look at this. I take my two handles and look at how it supports my body. It doesn't even fall, right? Supports my body. I mean, there are all kinds of different things that we do, right? But the nice thing is this, working with the core like this, I'm actually going to insert my feet through the handles. And this is a great opportunity, one more time, to talk about, there's a plastic molded part, which you use for your hands, and there's also this webbing, this nylon webbing, which is really soft for the different parts of the body. So I'm going to slide my way in on an angle, just so you can see. I'm going to stick my feet in, take the heel and wrap it up around the outside. Then I move in and I set myself back. So this way, when I come down, I've got a nice, my back is in a nice place. It's not too much of an arch. And I can even take my arms out. If I press my heels down, I can do these really nice sit-ups, which sit-ups are very hard to do. But this is such a great toning exercise, right? This is the fifth function of the Mighty Body Band Light, being able to do all these different things. I can switch my legs around this way, move slightly forward, come down to the floor, and as long as I know I've got my feet in really nicely, like this, I can get this really nice deep opening into the front of the chest with my legs being supported, right, by the handles, just like that. Coming up, back down. Taking the arms out, lifting the legs slightly up. Whatever it is to engage yourself is really very nice. And you would rest. I'm going to take them off, and I'm going to turn around one more time and just show you again. Let's say you're here, and I want to work really nice into the heart. I just pull my handles. I work my legs back and up, and I pull, and it's really very nice. Okay, fifth function. So, I'm going to open up the door. I'm going to retrieve my portable anchor door. I'm going to close it. I'm going to take the two handles back off, set them on my hook just for a moment. I'm going to take my toe band and reconnect it to the portable door anchor. Then I'm going to take the Lucky 8 and put the Lucky 8 back on. Now, and the handles, which also, so we're putting it right back the way it was when we first started. Moving the shoulder pads out of the way, one handle, the other handle, and just the way in the beginning of the video. Now, the only thing that we hadn't talked about was in the very beginning, I told you about the PNF loop. So now, you know exactly how the Mighty Body Band comes, what it does. Now I'm going to show you, with that end in mind, about what this PNF loop does. So, this is the PNF loop. As I said earlier, the antennas or the ears of the PNF loop, they point up. And what happens, this is, as I said earlier, this is an optional accessory. This is a separate purchase, but it really takes everything to a different place. So, and I'm going to show you why. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to remove my Lucky 8 with the handles, just like this. And I'm going to set that also on the little hook that I have on the door. I will take the PNF loop, which if you ordered it initially as an accessory, it comes in the box with your unit, okay? And if not, you can always upgrade to it later. But, so here we have it, connected to the toe band. I'm gonna reach back, I'm gonna grab my Lucky 8 with the handles, and now connect it right back to the PNF. So you see, the Lucky 8, right, hooks up to the toe band, but if you have the PNF, you hook the PNF loop, you take the Lucky 8 and connect it to the bottom, all right? Now, what's the difference? So I pull on it. What's the difference? It's no different than everything we've done already. Well, the beauty is, as an accessory, I can now disconnect this static component of the PNF loop and then watch what happens now. I'm going to try to come in close, and do you see what happens? Look at how it stretches. If you look from this fixed point to this point here, how much it stretches. So the more you angle your body, right, the more it pulls back. Well, this work allows you to go into the back bends. It allows you to work and penetrate deeper into what we call PNF and active isolated stretches. It's an amazing accessory that shouldn't be passed up. So I'm going to show you one or two things that you can do with it, and maybe just to bring the point across. So I'm going to disconnect my two buckles from the double loop, and then I'm going to remove my handles from what we call the extended handle mode. I'm going to set my two handles up on my handy little hook, and then I'm going to take it into a single loop mode. So I take that third buckle at the end of the loop here, and I'm going to slide it around. I'm going to, and incidentally, these little things that slide around, these are for the thighs. When I showed you how to work into double loop, they go around the front of the thighs and they help to grip it. At any rate, I take the loop up over, I make sure there are no unusual twists or turns, and then I'm going to tighten up my toe band a little bit more. Now, look at the difference. You see? I'm going to turn a little bit, but when I had the single loop mode before, I wasn't able to do anything like this. So there's a nice bungee cord. They come in 3 different variable tensions, okay? And watch this. So here, if I go into a back bend, look at this. Do you ever see anybody come down so slowly into a back bend? So there's no compression. I come down, and then it helps pull me up. So the bungee cord helps lower the body down, and once the body is fully down, it actually helps to pick me back up, so I never have to worry about straining or overdoing it into my low back. And eventually, you just get to a nice place where you take your hands back and you come on up, right? You take your hands back, up, just like that. You turn around, you go into nice down dogs like this, and it fires up. You can come on out. You can take one leg out. You can find your pad here to come up in front of the leg, which gives it a little bit more stability, and the same thing. You see how this works? I can work into angles. So the thing about the Mighty Body Band is it works with coordination. It works and gives you a greater agility, and these are all the things that it does, okay? So I'm going to come back up. I'm going to take the PNF loop from dynamic mode back into static mode. I'm going to now take the single loop, disconnect the buckle, reconnect, so that now we're in double loop mode, right? Double loop mode without handles. Very good. Then, now that I have this in place, I am now going to take my handles back, put them on the tri-rings, double loop with handle, right? So, Mighty Body Band Light with the PNF accessory. Mighty Body Band Light as it comes in the box without the PNF accessory. So I hope this was very resourceful video for you, helping to discern one function from the next. So there are hundreds of different poses and exercises that you can do with the Mighty Body Band Light. So I want to thank you for taking the time to review this with us. And remember, blog, send us an email, call us, send us your feedback, send us your questions. Thank you, Miguel Electronica, the inventor of the internationally patented Mighty Body Band product.